was going to, but it didn't get open all the way.
2 plus 2 equals 4. Quick math. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the BearThoughts channel. We do this every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Should be the time here at the BearThoughts channel. Be sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below. Help us out grow this channel. I would appreciate it big time. As always, we have the Corvo Lusher Ninja with us. And we have a stealthy Jade, but right now she is kicking ass and taking names in Paladins. For those who have not been watching my stream or her stream, that's the game we've been playing a lot lately because there's a Ruby event going on, and Corvo's trying to figure out how he can get all those skins before they're all gone. Because he too is a fan of the show. All right, let's just jump right into how things are going. I want to ask you. How is the 100% work job going for you?
It's going good, to the point that I found myself with an enormous amount of downtime this morning, to which I was able to lend some technical support to someone that we know. And you know, it's amazing how when I turn on the afterburners, things disappear, and then I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting.
Whether you know, rather than just letting things come and getting them done in a good time and having something to do, now you're sitting on your hands getting paid.
Yeah,
because they decide to just make you run when you realize once you're done running, there's nothing left to do. Yeah. I wouldn't know how that feels at all.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if I make up my mind that something is going to be done, it gets done. And when I'm 100% and everything's getting done.
Yeah, like I've been at jobs before. I'm not gonna name no names here and get myself all called out, but I've been at jobs before, and I would literally they'd give me a job thinking, oh, this job take them like 2 or 3 hours, maybe the entire day, depending on how many there is. They'll keep them busy. I'm done within like half the time, if not a quarter of the time, sitting on my hands, and I get in trouble for it. It's like, it's not my fault you didn't give me enough work. I did what you wanted me to do. I am now finished. I should be rewarded for what I just accomplished that you thought would take me literally half a day or all day or whatever. I got done within a quarter of that time. Why am I being punished for this? And I literally get yelled at and screamed at, like, as if it was my fault that I was capable of doing that.
I mean, like I said, I'm doing what I do, and now I'm doing it at 100% capacity. So,
you're one of the fortunate ones. If I did that in my past jobs, I'd be chewed the fuck out. I'm like, yeah, this job sucks. I'm out of here.
I mean, they can't really, because if they do, then I'm just gonna lay the logbook in front of them and show them that even stuff that comes to me outside of what they see is getting completed. So if nothing else, I am overachieving. So shut the fuck up, sit down, have a drink, and ride the train like everybody else.
Yep. That's always puts a smile on your face when you ever do that to people. All right. So, okay. So now we're going to jump into another thing that you talked to me earlier this week. And I am curious because Stealthy...
Is something moving behind me or behind Grumpy?
Probably me. Because it's probably the cat. If that's what you're talking about. I don't know if that's what they're talking about or not, but it's probably the cat. Which, speaking of that, I got to update this, apply, so I can actually re-chat myself. Oh, there we go.
Tilt this camera up a little bit. I'm going to get the top of that a little bit, but I don't care.
Yeah, it's this little creature right here. This one. Or it's my dog, one of the two, but he likes being bad. Got a ghost. Well, flip it. Let me see it. Let's do that. I'd love to see it. That was hella scary. Flip it. Come on. Clip it down below. I think this is maybe YouTube. You still can do that. All right. So that does bring up another topic, but I've been wanting to ask you for a while. It has was a chick. No, it was a chick. I had no woman here. That's interesting. Anyways, so I've been wanting to ask you this for a while, and I want you to work with me here. when did you find out that you liked horror movies and horror games? Like, can you remember what started? Because I have a theory, and I want to know if it's real or not. Uh, wife home is a home is my wife's home now.
I got into it probably right after Dad passed away.
See, okay, that's what I was gonna say. Because my wife, she also loves horror movies and horror things. That's like her whole thing. Also, true crimes. She loves true crimes. It's one of her deepest passions.
Right.
And
Okay.
her father passed away when she was young, and she saw her passing father. She's, I think, one of the people that found him. Um, I, we're talking about like horror stuff and how he got into it. And my theory is, was the passing or the seeing of someone's death made you interested in the idea of the engagement of it
I can
and
say
fear
for
of
me,
it?
I can say for me, that's not what happened. That's not
Okay.
for me. That's not what happened. Matter of fact, I will tell you that I have a big thing for crime shows as well. I like to figure out the puzzle, figure out who's doing it. I like all that kind of stuff too.
Hmm.
Most people that have that line of thinking that are into that kind of things ultimately end up with horror, but it's not for the reason you think. See, I don't watch horror because I want to be scared or because I want to see somebody get killed. I watch horror because I want to know why the person's doing it. Just
Mm,
like if you're watching um a show that has a serial killer and the cops trying to catch him, you want to know who the serial killer is and why did he do it. It's the
mm.
same thing for horror. Like Michael Myers. Why did he go ape nuts? What caused him to go ape nuts? Why is he doing it? That's what got me into horror.
It's the why, not the
Yeah,
thrill of the being scared
right.
or the thrill of possible, death occurring. Um,
Which is one of the reasons why I can be jump scared, but it doesn't happen very often because most of the time I'm more focused on why the killer is doing what it's doing or whatever
mhm.
than how gruesome and scary and pop outy it is, you know?
Okay, because it was like I was just a coincidence that you and my wife's father both passed away, and my wife, she's telling me like she was demented before her father passed away to the point that she wanted to be friends with Chucky. That's like she was saying she was twisted before the passing of her father. But I just wondering, like, is it like what brings people into the fixation of that
Like I
fear
said,
and scare and
it's been my finding that most people that share um around me anyway, most
mm,
people that share interest in horror usually got into it because they were more about the why it's happening than what's happening. And most of
gotcha.
those same people are also people that are into true crime, CSI, and Bones and stuff like that. They want to know why the villain is doing what it's doing. Explain
Mm,
it to me. Teach me, old sage one, kind of thing. Um, so that's where I'm at. It's like, for instance, when I was watching Otter Top the other day and she was streaming Madison, she
mm-hmm,
was freaking out at some of the jump scares. And granted, some of them probably, if I wasn't that kind of person, would have jump scared me. But for the most part, I wasn't jump scared, even though it's a terrifying game to most. Because I was more focused on, okay, why is all this happening? That's what I want to know.
mm,
I've said it 100 times. Corvo is about a story. I
yes.
want to know the story. I don't care that somebody just got bludgeoned with a baseball bat in the corner. I want to know why the person got bludgeoned with a baseball bat in the corner. I'm inquisitive to the point that sometimes it will get me in trouble.
Okay. Well, to my wife, she said nowadays a lot of horror movies aren't really scary to her. You never been scared of horror movies? Well, how about you come over here and sit down next to me and actually be part of the podcast for once? You'll be all right. Rare glimpse of my actual wife gonna join us and be in the podcast today.
Your actual wife as opposed to your fake wife? I mean,
Ow.
a loving one, I would punch him in the shoulder for that.
Michael said there was apparently a ghost in the background of a woman, so I'm kind of curious about that. I got to check the VODs for that one. See where that one's hiding at. No, this was before you got home.
It's probably me.
How was it you?
My shit was like, I gotta watch them.
You got protection going on, baby. She's
Okay.
checking on you, making sure that fake woman ain't there.
Okay, so how do you feel? What do you feel about horror movies?
Something to watch. People die.
Yeah, but like, what makes you so interested in it if horror movies don't really actually scare you?
I like seeing how psychopaths think.
So you're
There you
asking,
go.
you're asking
It's
the same
the
reason.
why.
It's
It's
the why.
the why.
Okay. So what's your favorite horror movie?
I kind of don't have favorites anymore. They just got dumber and dumber over time.
Yeah, but I'm like, what's your favorite classic horror movie? Everybody go about that because that's probably what the best
Most
line.
people would say Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That would be most people's.
Yes, what was yours?
Let's see. Ooh.
I didn't really have a favorite.
I didn't either.
I just watched whatever horror movie was on.
I was kind of down with whatever, just as long as I could figure out what they were doing and why they did it.
Okay, so none of y'all have like the Pinhead or Michael Myers or
Pinhead was stupid.
Yes.
The graphics were absolutely atrocious. Michael Myers has gone on too damn long. Although I did like the Rob Zombie version of,
Isn't
Halloween.
you might say like isn't one of your favorite like Zombieland or not Zombieland?
Devil's Reject?
Devil's Rejects, yeah.
It's by Rob Zombie.
Yeah, hey, you have she has like several of the Devil Reject or Rob Zombie horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's watched those several times, especially with that clown guy.
Yeah. Captain Spaulding.
Yeah, Captain Spaulding.
He was a great actor.
I would say, honestly, if I had to say I have a favorite, even though I have an aversion to this particular type of character, it would have to be Pennywise.
Pennywise?
I love Pennywise.
Okay, I don't know the name of the movie. I'm pretty sure both of y'all probably remember it though. What's that? Is aliens or clowns from outer space? Is that the name of it?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I know it well.
That movie, I'm not scared of clowns, but that movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
It was so stupid.
Yeah, it was. But I was a kid.
It was a very dumb movie.
I watched it as a kid, and it was stupid.
It scared me. That and the little gremlins that crawl through head spaces and out of toilets. I forget the name of that one. That was scared me too as a kid. Don't know why, but that one did.
That was funny though.
Gremlins that what now?
There's one movie. It's an old movie where little kind of like furry creatures would crawl through heads like ventilations and out of toilets and like they crawl everywhere and like literally attack you from out of.
Are you talking about Critters?
Yeah.
Were they Critters? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Might have been Critters.
That movie
scared
the
me.
Krites?
I don't remember. I was a kid.
See, Critters was a comedy to me. I mean, you can't get much funnier than when one of them little jokers rolls up on a doorstep and the lady whips out a shotgun and he goes, "Oh shit, she's got a gun."
Yeah, he thought Critters was funny too. So
stupid.
Well, stupid
It was
funny.
comical.
So yeah, I never really got into horror. Like, but me, it was fantasy because I didn't want nothing with reality. I want to completely escape.
If we want to be completely honest, you're talking to a fellow that has terabytes of media. I would like to say that I'm a diehard horror fan, but I think I'm a fan of just about anything as long as it's decent.
Gotcha. Minor 49er. What's Minor 49er?
Minor 49er was a horror slasher type movie where somebody took on the persona of a minor that was killed in a cave-in and killed a bunch of teens.
Okay. A minor that kills a bunch of people, with a minor pick or whatever else he could find.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Scooby Doo had an episode of a minor 49er, but you know it was Scooby Doo version.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
Scooby Doo version was adorable. And I didn't even like Scooby Doo either. I watched Scooby Doo and I was not in love with it. And
I
like,
loved Scooby Doo. I loved it, but then
I
again,
always
it goes
watched
back
the
to
channel
the
when
I want to
Scooby-Doo
know
came
who.
on.
yeah,
I want to know who, and I want to know why.
and we know what was the purpose, what was the reason, who was behind this mask and underneath that mask, and it definitely had. Little Volma was very cute. I had a crush on her. It
She
wasn't
got on my nerves.
it wasn't a show that I very much. Yeah, I know.
They all got on my damn nerves.
I just had a thing for girls with they were thick and glasses. Okay, so for me, I don't think it's very much of a surprise for me with fantasy. It was pretty much cartoons that got me into fantasy. That was just it. Like I remember when I was a kid, I saw the cartoon animation or cartoon movie of Lord of the Rings, the old Hobbit, the whole Hobbit story,
Yeah, remember that. I
and
remember that. That was back when they were still using like almost watercolor pastels to do it.
yeah, and the drawing for it was terrible and like the whole thing, but I was like, I watched that movie so many times. Like I loved it. And it's to me, it's not like I don't know what could actually cause my brain to go, you know what? I want to be fixated on fantasy. Because my wife, she thought I liked sci-fi. I'm like, honey, sci-fi is nice, but I'm primarily a fantasy person. I want magic. I want mystical and majestic and almost to a point of like unsensical bridal. I say stupidity, I guess, but it's not ever going to happen. But I wish it would. So when my wife asked me the other day if I could have any superpower given to me in the world, but I had to lose one of my senses, what would it be? And I was taken aback because I didn't know what sense I would be willing to get rid of. And I'd be like, okay, well, if I get rid of any sense, I guess hearing. Read your mind and hear what you're thinking. So just think what you need, and I will hear it, or I will visualize it in my brain. I don't know how you would hear brain, but that's how it worked for me. And
You
then
would get images, but you wouldn't get auditory because if you can't hear, then you have no resonance in your skull to generate the auditory.
So I just had to hope that whatever they're saying, I can visually see it in my brain so I can talk back to them. So it was the movie's Curse of the Minor 49er. There's a movie Curse. Never heard of a movie Curse before. Wow.
Stop.
The Woman in the Well, that's a movie Curse, but that's not an actual movie Curse though in real life.
The Ring.
The Ring, whatever the fuck it is called.
Dumb fucking movie.
You thought you probably don't like any horror movies. You're supposed to be a fan of it.
I don't like horror movies anymore because they're dumb as shit now. It's like, oh no, what could be behind the door? Oh, look, a killer! Oh, I better run! Oh look, there's something for me to fucking trip over.
That's usually how it goes. If you're scared shitless,
I trip. I'm gonna lay there for a few seconds for the killer to catch up to me, and then run and figure out why the fuck I died.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I watch some of them sometimes, and they fall down, and I'm like, well, even if you can't get up and get away, there's like numerous objects around you to beat the fuck out of this person with when they get there. Why are you not reaching for something?
Or roll, maybe you could do that at least. You roll the opposite direction of the axe or chainsaw.
They couldn't make me the person in the horror movie because as soon as the first friend died, it would flip script. I would be chasing that son of a bitch, and he'd be running away from me because I'm gonna go knock on doors until I find that fucker.
Well, I saw this one TikTok. It was a couple weeks back where they had a family member, and they would be walking toward them, walking at a brisk pace, but not running, right? So walking at normal serial killer steps, and they would have to run from them up the stairway to the doorway and unlock the door and get inside before he grabbed them. And all but one was was not able to get away from him before he caught onto them and killed them. Well, not real life, but like the premise of it, like I guess in the moment of fear and worrisome, that your brain starts to overthink. So that's why people is like, oh, you're probably so scared you don't notice the little bottle on the floor. Whoops,
Bullshit.
and you're out your ass. Like
I must be broken then because I don't get scared. I get
you
angry.
Can see things. How do you not go? There's a bottle there. Oh, I better jump over. Bang! Just at that moment.
Hey, my brain goes, oh, you killed my friend. I'm not scared. Now I'm pissed off.
yeah, you go from you flip a switch, go from scared to angry, and she just goes from questionable to just until oh, how would you take on a serial killer, honey?
It depends on the situation I'm in.
You just probably just keep on running, honestly. Get in the vehicle.
Running.
What?
I'd rather hide than run.
Oh, screw that.
I am not running.
I'm not letting the fucker find me.
I am not. You gotta outsmart the serial killer.
I'm gonna find him.
They kill you.
Okay.
I mean,
but you know what? One of the movies I actually do like is 31.
Okay, there we go.
It's a good way to fuck up with your mind.
31.
Yeah.
Have you seen it before?
yeah.
That's
I'll tell you another good one that'll mess with your mind. It's kind of a sci-fi / horror. Is Pandora.
Pandora.
I've seen Pandora.
Okay, sci-fi horror movie.
Yeah, I've seen Pandora.
You think you know exactly what's going on until the last 15 minutes of the movie, and then you find out you're completely fucking wrong.
You love those kind of movies, don't you? You're like
I
the
do.
entire thing. Like I have no idea what's going on, but I'm in for the ride. And the very, 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 very fucking end, you go, oh, and now we're gonna explain everything to you. Son of a bitch.
31 is.
It's like what? It's like watching Ergo Proxy. I mean, you think when you're watching Ergo Proxy, you know. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. And then in the last 15 minutes, they're like, ha ha, I got you.
God dang, Ergo Proxy. That anime.
Yeah, 31 is a good movie.
31's a good movie?
It's about Rob Zombie. It's
Of course.
It's a good way to mess with your mind.
I think a lot of people nowadays have been, well, at least been noticing there's been a lot of aftermarket kind of horror movies.
Remakes.
Or no, not remakes. I'm talking about like people who are like making their own horror movies. And they're going off the more realistic side of the horror, being that like the camera's not all too clean and photogenic, the angle of it's not just right, the lighting's not perfect. They're going off like they're grabbing their phones and going, all right, run. And that's what they're going off of. The jittery camera. And
I would legitimately think though that would be a great movie. Could you imagine? They set up the movie to be like a slasher film, right?
Yeah.
This guy breaks in the house, kills a couple of people, but then one of the people, instead of running and being terrified, just gets pissed the fuck off. And the rest of the movie is him running away from that guy, trying not to die, flipping the whole script. I think that would be great.
I could be wrong. I thought I saw a trailer a couple days ago. Again, I'm not into horror stuff, where a girl does that. Like she hunts down the serial killer. Could be wrong, but I have to check myself. I don't watch horror movies. I think there was like it was one of those like self-made or scariest movies where the girl ends up chasing down the serial killer because he killed someone she loves or something like that, and that was like it was over. I don't know if it's supposed to be a comedy either.
I just think it would be perfect. Could you imagine serial killer stabs the guy in the arm or something? Most horror movies, they run away or try to get away. The guy just looks at him going like, bet, bitch, and smacks him in the head. That would be fantastic. I would pay money for that. What? Boom.
My wife said, kitty, background, your cat's coming in.
Another A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It will mess with your mind.
That thing is, be prepared when you watch that. Be prepared.
When she first saw the movie, I guess it's called Halloween. It's Halloween. What's your little guy movie he's in? Trick or Treat?
Trick or Treat.
Yeah, okay, Trick or Treat. She absolutely fell in love with Sam. See, like, that is so cute. I want him. So I had the 3D print Sam, and I did that for her. And she absolutely loves that little guy. And I saw the little thing. I'm like, that's like a little mini version of Jeepers Creepers.
No, he doesn't eat people.
Yeah, but like when he takes his mask off, like that little thing is not cute.
He just kills you.
Yeah, it just kills you.
If
Yeah.
you follow the rules, you won't die.
And you chop him up, shoot him in the head, he still don't die. He comes back and laughs at you, goes, hi, and then kills you, starts stabbing you some more. It's like, yeah, you can't kill him at all. He's like a spirit.
But yeah.
So yeah, that's I had to say for me, if I had to choose any horror movies, the problem is I haven't watched horror movies in a very, very long time, and that's for a reason. I don't like jump scares. I don't get the thrill out of it, and I don't care very much who or why. But my horror movie has to be probably was it Gremlins? I love Gremlins, but that's still a horror movie, right?
Treated
Gremlins,
after midnight.
yeah, like Gremlins is still my favorite, but people say it's a horror movie. A horror movie. I think it's a horror movie. I think it's just a good movie, but it's supposed to be horror. I like it.
Because they're funny.
Yeah, but also they're like, it's supposed to be scary. I don't know how it's scary, but it's supposed to be, but it's not.
Funny as hell.
It's more like a fantasy comedy with a little bit of death in it, I guess, but it's not like all bloody and gory or jump scares or none of that. Just
No, they just want to party. Just leave them alone and party.
if they're a female, they want to do more than just party with you.
What's that damn movie? There was another one that came out at the same time as like Gremlins and Critters. What the hell was the name of it?
Was it Speed Me Seymour?
No.
Huh?
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a horror movie too. That wasn't
That was
horror.
funny too.
That wasn't a horror.
What was the name of that movie? The Munchies.
Oh, the Munchies.
The Munchies. It was kind of funny. It was supposed to be like the same kind of horror as Critters or Gremlins, but
Yeah,
it's more funny than it is anything.
yeah. So
Munchies.
I guess when it goes into puppetry or anything with like done with like with the band with the little strings, it just doesn't come off as horror to me. They are just
Like Puppet Master was supposed to be scary, but it wasn't scary to me.
yeah. She
was
actually
more-
liked Puppet Master.
Puppet Master was pretty cool.
All right. So let's jump into the next scene. I know you're going into a challenge this week to the point where
yeah.
Stealthy is like yesterday. She was doing. If everybody has not watched Stealthy of Jade on her Twitch channel, Stealthy of Jade at Twitch.tv, Stealthy of Jade. She's doing right now a challenge as well. To the point that she looked miserable on yesterday's stream.
Okay,
And was so fixated on whatever the hell y'all are doing.
Let me help you get this overview. We have not started the challenge yet. We have a month to prep for this challenge.
A month of prep. Okay.
It's a full fire team versus a full fire team. 3 people v 3 people.
All right.
All right. The way this thing's going to work is out of each fire team, someone is going to start a brand new character from 0.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a warlock because they have the least amount of death and shit. So let's make it squishier.
Mm-hmm.
And then their fire teammates have to help get them to maximum light level before the other team.
Maximum light level. Is it like a season thing where it resets?
No. This is not a season thing. Maximum light level is level cap. That's your level of your character.
Okay.
Whatever the level cap is, that's what you got to get them to.
Okay.
So now here is that in and of itself, the challenge is not the push point. I'm going to name the other party as A, B, and C. Okay. So A, B, and C all work with me.
IDD. Okay.
A being my favorite person that I work with.
Favorite person?
Boss man.
Your boss is playing this game?
Yep. B and C being his 2 conspirators in the corner that want to make sure that I get all the tickets.
You get all the tickets. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I get. So what? Basically, what this boils down to is a few people in my department have convinced my boss that all tickets in our site goes to me, and then I have to jump through a shitload of hoops before I can pass it off to them, and even then, I can only pass it to them if they accept it.
okay.
You understand?
Yeah. All right.
So these three people
Mm-hmm.
issued this challenge. Well, A decided he was going to do the warlock role. So guess who volunteered for warlock role?
Just to be the
And
opposite.
yes, and then B and C have to contend with rollover and stealthy. So what we're going to do is in a month's time, we're going to kick this thing off. I'm going to create a brand new warlock, fresh out of the box.
So do you have to
And we're
delete
going
your
to
old
run
warlock
this.
or
Yeah, I
you have to-
delete it.
okay?
I delete it.
All your
The one that
gear-
I'm using right now that you seen when I was streaming with Stealthy,
yeah.
he's my crash test dummy.
Okay.
I'm using him to get used to being a warlock because Corvo doesn't play warlock. Corvo plays Titan
Yes.
or preferably Hunter. I am a Hunter person.
Yeah.
However, that being said, I'm the warlock this go around, so the jumps are different, the ability sets are different, all that stuff. So we have a month to prep. I am using this crash test dummy to get used to it. And then in a month, we're going to blow this guy out. We're going to start fresh. And we're going to go as hard as we can until I get to max light level. Now, here's the caveat. The only person on each team that has to start at 0 is the warlock.
That's you.
So during this month time, Stealthy and Rollover are working on getting themselves to max light level.
Okay.
So that when we go into this, I basically walk around behind two big brick walls and go, "You can't fuck with me," and pick up all the good gear.
Yeah.
And ball myself up, which is exactly what they're gonna do as well. So, what it really comes down to is, can the warlock stay alive long enough to get the light level pushed up, and can the other two in the fire team get him there faster than the other?
See, okay, I would have put an ultimatum in this, and you could
There
say
is
this.
an ultimatum. I hadn't gotten that far.
Okay, let's say if you were playing warlock and your warlock dies, you have to delete it and start all over again.
No,
and every time you die, you have to start all over again, so you don't die.
I did better than that. I did better than that. So if we win,
okay, you win.
I get to assign tickets for a full week, as I say, and I got the head of our department to sign off on that.
Wow, that is ballsy as shit. Going, you know what? I management this week for tickets. Enjoy. Guess who's getting all the tickets? The boss that sits on his hands.
So, with that being said, Stealthy has a new dog in the game, and that is why she is so intent, because she really doesn't like person A.
Okay, so the skin in the game is more than just like, hey, I want to beat you. It's more like, hey, I want to beat you. No. Fisticuffs, come here.
Yeah, this is gonna be one hell of a ride.
But yes, it is Destiny 2. If I haven't already said that, they are playing Destiny 2. That is the game.
Destiny 2.
So
yes.
I'm rooting for you. I hope you make it to the end. I hope that Stealthy and Rollover are beefy and full life. My mind is immediately going, and I'm more like, hey, if we're gonna do this, we're playing it Nuzlocke style. You die all over, bitch. Start all over. Catch up, and Stealthy and y'all can just never die.
I would never take the joy of him learning Warlock away from him.
Oh yeah, you want him to enjoy the game.
From the standpoint is he's only ever played one class in this game. and it wasn't Warlock. He played Titan.
I thought so. Everybody plays Titan. It feels like the first, because that's my first character I played on the game.
My first character was actually Hunter, and then I went to Titan.
I liked Hammer.
I tried Warlock one time when it first came out, and I was like, "Oh fuck this jump," because it's the jump on a Warlock that fucks you up. Like if you don't learn to control your glide, you will jump and glide right into the enemy's fire. You know,
High skill
and
cap.
jump puzzles in Destiny. You've seen them. They're not for the weak at heart. And then you try to do it with a character you don't know how to run the jump on. You might as well just say fuck this shit.
I remember when I first got into the Destiny game, and it was back when I was still when Sneaking Like a Clam, one of my old buddies on Twitch, was still streaming, and somehow he managed to talk me into. I was maybe a week into this game, if that. I'm not even full level. I don't got very much good gear. He found a way to pull me into a raid. And half the raid were jump puzzles that most people died from because they were so difficult just to get over the hurdle.
Yes,
Like-
yes.
I'm like, what is this? Where's the mobs? And we get to the mobs, like, okay, this is what I know. Kill people. I can do that.
I will
but then
tell
jump.
you this. In my fire team, I have an expert hunter jumper and an expert Titan jumper.
Mm-hmm.
So if I fall, not only can they jump the jump puzzle, but they can bring their ass back and get me because they've done it a lot.
I know how this jump works. I mean, I was like, what do y'all got me? And then I got into the boss fight, and there was all these mechanics. I'm like, bro, you do know this is my first time. I got screamed at. I'm like, this is my first time I've ever done a raid.
It works. You gotta learn how it works. The upside is if you play Destiny long enough, even with surprise mechanics at the boss, when you look at the map, you kind of start seeing, I think this is going to be this kind of mechanic, because you've seen them in other places, and you kind of realize that the map is laid out in a way for those mechanics. So it stops being a huge surprise. Sometimes you're still like, oh shit, I didn't realize that. I need to swap tactics, but it's not, after playing for a while, you don't go in and go, holy fuck, I have no idea what to do with this. I've never seen it before. No.
Okay, so I remember it was a raid boss where the boss was in the middle of this big open, like rocky formation area, and there was these several spawn points where monsters would come out and start attacking it, and you get to kill them before they kill the point.
Sounds like Frodo.
Yeah, that was the first one I was put into.
That he got drawn into.
You don't just go.
No, a friend of his talked him into going. He didn't.
Stupid.
Yeah, that sounds like Crota. And yeah, that was probably a really shitty first experience.
And I'm getting yelled at. I'm like, I'm supposed to kill the mobs. That's what I'm doing. I'm killing the mobs. I'm stopping them, stunning them. I'm doing whatever I can. These guys are attacking this point. I'm going, I have no idea what's going on, but kill things. That's all I'm doing. And he's yelling at me. I'm like, bro, you told me to kill stuff. Just attacking this thing. That's all I'm doing. What am I getting yelled at for? I'm not efficient enough for you. This is my first raid in this game. And first, like, I've been playing this game for, what, a week now? And you're yelling at me? Are you serious? I don't even know what half my character's buttons do.
Yeah.
My weapons are ass, and you're telling me to take these things off as if I can one-shot them. So, needless to say, it was not a good experience no, it wasn't. We killed it. We did beat it. Eventually. It took a while, but it wasn't like we first got the first stage done, we got that put down the path, then we got to go onto the platforms and attack a certain point, and another platform and attack another point, and then final phase, I forget what the heck that was about. Laser beam, I think, I can't remember. It was just all a bunch of madness, and I can't say I recommend that for anybody out there that wants to try out, play Destiny 2 and go straight into raids within your first week. I don't think that's normal.
That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, they probably all max
learn your skills and abilities at least before you do that.
I knew ultimate button. That was something I knew. I like ultimate button. I got that button down. Hammer, good at that. So that's how I dealt with my portal, because they had me on defense. They had that. I wasn't attacking. I was defending. So it was primary just keep them off the little spot so we can get to the next phase, or one of the 3 or 4 spots, I forget. I was good at that, I guess, because we managed to get past it. Kids
Amen. Out.
with no shirt. See what that happened. So yeah, I don't say I have any sympathy for anybody that plays that game, especially not knowing it. But playing Warlock, I didn't play that class. I just like I don't want to play a caster character squishy. I want to play something beefy and with a hammer that is melee. I want to get in the action. That's what I like. That I'm in the action, not.
Yeah, it takes a certain skill set to be able to do it. Believe me, I play Warlock a lot different than I play any other class. Because most other classes, I try to get in something's face. In this class, I try to stay the fuck back unless I got my ult.
Yeah, because the character, I'm sure, doesn't have very much health, right?
Well, I'm a little better than I was. I started. So when you start a new character right now, you're starting at 1350 light.
Yeah.
And cap is 1560, 1570. 1570. And I'm at, with this character, I've gotten to 1505 right now in like 3 days from 1350.
Okay.
It's with the light level, it's a combination of things. It's a combination of your gear and your weapons.
Texting me all this, and I don't know who it is.
Anyway, so what you want to do is you want to grind events and give you higher light level weapons and gear, and that will raise your light level. So the trick is, one, having a fire team that can help you when you're doing these things, and two, knowing which events to grind at which times.
Okay.
So, like, if anybody had been watching Stealthy's stream last night, they would have seen we did a whole lot of Gambit.
Yeah, a lot of it. Which is the PvP portion of the game. So,
well, it is and it isn't. It's kind of a hybrid, because the only time you're PvP is if you're invading one side or they're invading you. The rest of the time, you are killing mobs
in a podcast
for drops.
Who's this?
Grumpy Bear.
You recognize?
No.
What's up, bro?
I don't recognize the voice.
What's up, bro?
Oh, it's Jordan. What the fuck? I'm sorry. My brother just decided to call me out of nowhere. Seriously? You can just watch a podcast and say something there. Oh.
Check you right now, bro.
What the hell? Okay, I'm sorry. I know we're in the middle of the conversation there, Corvo, but my brother, I haven't talked to him in 5 or 6 years. So
important call.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of a weird call to get. Gets you to save your number. Oh.
Yeah. Y'all talking about scary movies, sounds like I'm not messing with them.
Oh well, scary movies. How? Wait, you're Mitchell? You're not Mitchell.
What?
Let's say. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I had someone in the chat say something about scary movies. I'm hoping that they can hear you in the chat. Say something real quick.
In your chat?
Yeah, because I have you next to my microphone, so I don't know if they can hear you or not. Can you hear him?
It says Michael.
It says Michael.
Okay, but you hear the person on the phone though.
Yeah, I can hear him, but it says Michael in chat, not Mitchell.
So Michael, yeah, sorry, dyslexia.
It's like literally like a 10-second delay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to talk after my podcast?
Nah, man. You go enjoy your podcast. I just don't want to mess with y'all.
I love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
Take it easy. What the heck? Why do we even do that? That makes no sense, but whatever. That's my brother. Okay, hit me up nowhere with an unknown phone number, not know who the hell he is, going and texting my wife, going, "Hey, it's me. Is Jody there?" I'm like, "What?" It's like, and then a bunch of other texts, and then he decided to call instead, just to mess with me since he knows I'm watching. Thanks, bro. Okay, so okay, I had a question for you about the game because I don't play that often. I don't know this. Is the light level based on the character's experiences or gear?
It's a combination.
Okay, so
Experience can raise your light level, but gear can raise it faster.
okay, so let's say you want to min max that gear score, that light level, even if the gear is trash, right? And it just gets you up to that maximum cap level, even though it's a piece of junk. Could you just go and just like, hey, even though this gear's bad, I'm gonna put it on my character anyways because it brings my lot level that much higher.
Exactly. But here's the thing:
Mm.
getting the gear isn't easy. You
Oh.
only get it off of drops,
Which are in raids, which
right? Well, raids or special events or like Gambit is a hybrid. That's what I was trying to tell you. Gambit is not a purely PvP. Gambit's a hybrid. The only time you're PvP is if one of their characters, only one can do this. If one of their characters invades your side or you invade their side.
Yeah. Okay.
Other than that, in Gambit, you don't see the other team. Both teams are trying to kill mobs for drops to get a boss up, and the team that kills the boss first wins.
Yeah, it's kind of like a race, a speed race, where you're trying to be faster than the other team now, to complete the
if we want to
challenge.
Talk PvP, then you want to talk Crucible. You go to
okay.
Crucible, then it is straight up team versus team, and don't get shot.
Was it a one-shot kill?
No, it's just for the most part, Crucible can become one-shot kills. It's not always, but it can be if they know what they're doing.
If they have a shotgun and Stealthy's not good at it.
Yeah, it's about the weapon in Crucible. If you have the right weapon and you see them first, they will die.
Okay.
The only downside, yes, shotguns do work well in Crucible. The downside is you got to get close and know how to use them.
Okay.
If you put a shotgun user in a match with someone that uses like a bow, and the bow user sees him first, him probably not gonna make it.
Okay. So this challenge has more than just like we are ranking in this league of our job, which I think is very fun for a job to have that kind of settings. Even though it might be only in the office area, I don't know if it is.
Yeah, me and Jay and a few of us worked really hard to get this thing set up like this and make it work as nice as it does. I have a stipulation that Stealthy is going to love in a few minutes that I got them to agree to today, which I thought they wouldn't. If they fail, they're out
of the league.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's spicy. Then again, I don't know if I would want them to leave because if they leave, you couldn't challenge them a later time and have like another stipulation of like, hey, I get power again.
They've agreed. What I don't understand and what people don't realize is we are very, very meticulous about setting these things up. Like we literally have what you call rules and reviewers. So there's a reason why we're going to be streaming the challenge. Because there's somebody that's going to review the footage from both teams.
Okay.
To make sure there's no foul play.
Yes.
No bullshit. There's also rules. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Because there's some things, you know how games are. If I really, really wanted to with my particular skill set, I can log in with a new character in about 10 minutes with some strokes and some keys be max light level. Okay. That's not allowed. Okay.
Yeah. That's called cheating.
Yes. But the point is there's rules, there's people that moderate, there's people that check it, review the footage, all that good stuff. And any terms for the thing, i.e., the week of tickets assignment or being disbanded from the league, all have to be agreed upon by both parties.
Mm-hmm.
And they are literally put down in a logbook and signed, initialed by each person.
Okay, so there's a full array of things you gotta go through.
There's no way to say I didn't know or that's bullshit. No, bitch, your initials is right there next to it. You agreed. Okay. Here's the thing though. They hadn't requested any special terms of their own. None.
Even though they could have.
Yeah. Because I honestly think that they don't think it matters because I don't think they think that they can lose. To me says that they're stupid as hell because they haven't looked at the record book and seen who's sitting where in what positions
in the league.
If they did, they would know better.
Yeah, but their bosses, they always know better. Come on now.
I'm not saying we're the best in the world. There's plenty of people out there to whip our ass. But in our little circle, in our little league, there's a reason why we sit where we sit. You know? Some other league comes down here, they could whip our ass in a heartbeat probably if they wanted to. But in our little group, we sit where we sit because we do what we do. The last Destiny 2 challenge we had left someone wanting badly. I put up a 3D print of Cade on that.
Yeah, I remember that little challenge.
Yeah. That they were planning to destroy.
Yeah, spiteful woman. I don't know if she's still around or not. Is that woman still around?
No,
I didn't think so.
But so that being said, it wouldn't surprise me if they get a rude awakening.
Gotcha. All right, let me do a quick little ad break here. Thank you for those who are watching tonight. We don't got much line, but I'm going to thanks my sponsors. For those who do not know, I'm a sponsored streamer now. Dubby is one of them. You want to check them out. Energy Drink and Factor for HelloFresh. You want to check them out. Links down below. And go check them out. Also, you need merch gear if you want to check out any of those out as well. Just let you know, helping by supporting these companies, you support me. That'd be a big help, but also hitting that like button, leave a comment down below if you have any topics or your opinions or piece. What's your favorite horror movie or otherwise? Let me know. Or what got you into whatever genre of show you were into? Maybe like fantasy, like me. What was your starter for all of it? I don't remember my first one really. What was your first game? Do you remember your first game you ever played when you were a kid?
Centipede.
Was it Centipede for you?
Yes.
Okay, mine. I don't know if you know the name of the game. You might not. It was kind of like Castlevania, but instead of Castlevania with the whip, it was a guy that threw out like a whip with like a spinning disc at the end of it. It was on Nintendo. That's all I do remember. And I went over to one of my cousin's house, and it was a game just like Castlevania, and something about like the guy with the spinning disc whip. I was hooked on it at the very beginning. Like most people what might say Mario or something like that. It wasn't that for me. It was literally a Castlevania style game where I had to jump from platform to platform, killing monsters and hitting them with the spinning disc whip. If everybody knows the name of the game, let me know down in the comments below because I don't remember the name of it. And it's I've been wanting to go back and try that again ever since then. I'm sure there's a lot of games that when I was young that I would probably suck at nowadays that I was probably bad at honestly back then too. That and the game where you're flying a bird with a lance in front of you and you're gliding across the screen like you're playing Meteor Shower, whatever that game's called. You're trying to think of it as well, aren't you? I know you have a pretty big collection, so I thought maybe you would know.
The thing is I don't remember everything in my collection. That's how big it is.
Backlog to video games. How many has he completed? Probably not a lot of them.
I don't know. I've probably got over 80% of them completed.
Yeah, same here. Like, yeah, how many games you got? Yeah, how many completed? 80. Not all of them, though. I know one of my viewers the other day, he came into my channel. I think he said he had over like 15,000 or some outrageous number of video games, and then he keeps on buying from Steam because they're on sale and cheap. I'm like, how many have you completed? Like almost none of them. Like, yeah, I keep on buying because they're cheap, but don't you need to complete a game before you think about buying a new one? Yeah, but like they're always on sale. Yes, because Steam always has a sale. That's the point. It's like having a movie and not finishing it.
Yeah. Let's see. You said it was on Nintendo?
It was on Nintendo. I don't think it was on Super, but it could have been on Super, but I know it's on Nintendo. It's a Castlevania-like style game, and a guy had a whip with a spinning disc at the end of it. And it was definitely a platformer because I was jumping, killing monsters. That's all I remember about the game. It was one of my first games I've ever played. And I was thinking about the other day, like, what got me into video games? Because the question of horror movies and came about. I'm like, what gets people horror movies? I'm like, well, what got me into video games? It literally was that game because it was at my cousin's house. It was at my mom's cousin's or my mom's sister, technically my cousin's house. When we went over there to visit them one day, and ever since then I was hooked. And it wasn't even Mario. Most people would say that game. I didn't play that first.
I'm looking, but I ain't finding nothing.
Well, if everybody knows it, let me know. We are the time cap. Corvo has things to do here in a few minutes, and I don't want to hold him up anymore. So be sure to share this around best you can for those who are here. Brother, thank you for joining today. I'm sorry if I said your name. Probably did. Didn't mean to do that, but I don't think anybody's going to DDoS you or go and hunt you down, so don't worry about that. I'm not that big yet. Backlogs, hoping to watch this VOD and gets any ideas. But I do appreciate everybody coming tonight. Be sure to share this on all social medias and be there. And I will be streaming later tonight on twitch.tv/Grumpy Bear. If you want to check me out there, Corvo, you will be streaming tomorrow some Final Fantasy. If you're interested in that, at twitch.tv/Corvo Ninja. Be sure to check us out on all social media down below. You can't see mine because it's covered up by the ad. And Stealthy of Jade is always in the background. You can check her out when she goes live. So check me out in a couple of hours, maybe 1 or 2. I'm gonna eat. Probably to go out and do this little sell because somebody's bothering me about buying something from me while I was mid podcast. You can't tell, it's on my phone. Other than my brother. And as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all. Bye. Bye.